Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and welcome back to the YouTube channel everybody, and in today's video we're doing another movie ranking, well not a movie ranking, a show ranking. With the release of Eyes of Wakanda, we now have 5 shows in the Marvel animated universe, well basically in the MCU. But with that said, let's go and get started talking about all 5 Marvel animated shows, ranking them from worst to the best. Kicking off things with number 5 is the first animated Marvel Studios show, What If. This was a massive disappointment for me, and that, I was, when they first announced it, I was like, oh yeah, I am so excited for this show, seeing different of how Marvel movies would turn out differently, like Peggy Carter becoming Captain America, or Captain Carter or something. I'm like, that sounds really cool. T'Challa becoming Star-Lord instead of Peter Quill. A zombies Avengers level event. I'm like, that's really cool. And then like Ultron winning, oh, that sounds so cool. And then all the heroes we met throughout the season coming back together, I'm like, that's fun. That's really fun. And honestly, the first season was just really, really good. It was solid. And yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Killmonger or Thor episodes, but the first season was just really good. We get season 2, and I really liked a lot of episodes from that season. There were some I didn't really like, and then I hated how they kept bringing Captain Carter back, and the finale kind of suffered because of that. And then the entire season of season 3, I feel like really suffered. Mainly because, and I don't even care if it had 8 or 7 episodes or whatever like that. The problem that I hated was that none of the episodes in season 3 really worked for me. And then also you kind of like introduce all these other characters. Like you introduce a variant of Storm with the Thor hammer, and you kind of just established that Captain Carter was like in this Guardians of the Multiverse. So like, did all the other Guardians of the Multiverse members just die? Like, what happened? And the fact is, like, it was the final season of What If, and basically the show is all about infinite possibilities. I'm like, you made a show that was probably worthy of like multiple seasons, and you just ended off with 3. And especially when you teased all these other concepts that would have been a lot more interesting for this season. The only 2 episodes I probably did like, were probably like the mech suit Avengers and Red Guardian Winter Soldier. Those were the only episodes I really enjoyed. Every other episode was just really stupid and dumb. So for me, What If comes in last place. I really liked it in the beginning, but it suffered in the end. Number 4, I'm actually going to go with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, I do like this show. I think every other show up to this point I really like. And Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is a good show. It does an impressive story of basically doing a what-if storyline of what if Spider-Man didn't go fight Captain America with Iron Man. And basically, instead of his mentor being Tony Stark, it's Norman Osborn. And basically making a Spider-Man universe in this animated MCU world, to where you have the Avengers Civil War going on, but you also have like Doctor Strange being involved, and like Daredevil sometimes showing up, and all this stuff. And it's really cool. I like the way that it does the world building of the crime in this Spider-Man world. Especially the way they developed Tombstone's character and Scorpion. All that stuff was really cool. And of course, I like that we actually get the classic red and blue suit. That the animation style here feels very 60s vibe to the way the comics in the 60s looked. My big problem, the reason why I said number 4, is because I'm not a big fan of the ending. Granted, really excited for season 2. I think there's a lot of cool things that they're setting up for season 2. But I feel like that the ending, because they had in the second to last episode where Norman had all his students building up these projects for something big. And I was thinking, oh, what could it be? Is it going to be like something for like a Green Goblin thing? And he realized he was helping he wanted them to make him a portal to another dimension, to where basically a Venom symbiote can come through. And, like, to be honest, I'm not at all interested about that. And the fact that, like, the whole thing is basically, like, a callback to the first episode and why Doctor Strange was there, why was the spider there, and I'm like, and like, all the theories about the spider being from another universe, no, it was a time loop that coming across and then again. And so it was like, it was a little weird in the way they did it. Like, why on earth would I care about that? Why would I care about that? It's like, I get it. You're having Spider-Man and Doctor Strange suit up, and then it's like, maybe it's dumb. I don't know if anybody else liked it. Like, I like the speech Peter gives at the end. He learns to be a hero. But in what way does that get you to be a hero? It's just a classic thing. I don't know. I like classic heroic stuff, but with this one, it just kind of, it felt boring to me. It felt kind of lame. Like, I'd rather it be straightforward and straight to the point. I don't really care for the time loop stuff. I don't really care seeing Venom. I'm interested to see how they're going to handle him, and maybe Peter will get the black suit in the second season, and maybe we'll get another version of this version of Spider-Man of, like, you know, what would his timeline be like, especially during the events of Infinity War. So I think there are some interesting aspects to this show. And once again, very excited for season 2. And maybe these are dumb complaints, and maybe you can, like, talk about it with me in the comments, because I don't know. I don't really know about this show. I liked it, but it was kind of just it was just kind of a watch and done thing, but I'll probably like the next season better. Oh, and then also, I have some comments on the Spider-Man suit. Don't know why the Spider-Man logo on the front is so small. It looks like the back logo, but I don't know. In number 3, I have I Am Groot. So this is a simple, little short film series of shorts, where basically it takes place during the first 2 Guardians movies, and you just have Baby Groot doing cute Baby Groot things, and that's basically it. And it's fun like that. The first season is honestly one of my favorite things from the MCU. It's just peak entertainment. Groot is funny, and the plots are simple. Now, I might be thinking too much into it when I watch season 2, because there's just some plots that don't make sense to me. Why are we, if Groot was with the Guardians throughout this whole time, why are the Guardians stopping on a snowy planet to let Groot play with Snowman and just leave him kind of deserted a little bit? It was kind of weird, but honestly, that was like one major episode that I was like, this is kind of weird, even though it is fun. You kind of got to think of the logic of that. But besides that, I overall enjoyed it, and yeah, it was fun. And number 2 is actually the newly released animated series, Eyes of Wakanda. This was a very cool exploration of the Wakandan mythology and exploration of war dogs, but it also kind of makes the Black Panther movies a little bit more impactful, that if Wakanda never opened up, the world and them would be destroyed. And I think that is very interesting, but you also kind of see exactly what going out into the world and being a war dog can do to some of these Wakandans. And it's a very interesting thing. At the same time, it also has pretty good animation, but it also has a pretty cool action style and stuff like, animation style and cool action. I will say, I wish that this show had a few more episodes that could have done a little bit better for me, but likewise, I think that this was a pretty good show. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. But in first place is no secret, I have X-Men 97. So I know nothing about the original X-Men series from the 90s. I know nothing about that show. And when they announced that they're bringing basically that show back for Disney Plus, I was excited, but not really, because I don't really know what to expect from this show. And honestly, for the first time, I think this show kind of makes me a little bit of an X-Men fan. It kind of made me a fan of the X-Men a little bit, to make me interested in these characters. And it made Cyclops a really good character to where for the last 20 years, Wolverine was one of the big, X-Men characters, and none of the other characters really had their time to shine. And so getting a show to where it's a revival of a show from the 90s and giving all these characters really cool moments in the spotlight, I thought was a really cool thing. And telling a really emotional and cool story, that was just really something special to me. So, the animation works, the action's great, it's emotional, and it kind of leaves you wondering where is season 2 going to go. So, I'm kind of interested. So, it's not my personal favorite thing in the MCU. Like, none of the animated shows have really done it for me as much, but I still really dug this show, and it's easily the best show that they've given us for Marvel Animation. So that's my thoughts on the Marvel animated shows from Marvel Studios. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.